In this blog presents uh, The Cell Phone, a short story by Lakshmi Menon. The clock on the wall struck 7 times. Vidya took a deep breath and got up from her seat. Thank God, today was not bad. The day had passed without any untoward incidents, she said softly to herself while grabbing her bag from the drawer. Ramu, the attender, smiled at her, acknowledging it. As they were locking the one-room office of their counseling center, the phone rang. Vidya went back with a tinge of disappointment and answered the phone call, ignoring the attender's warning gesture not to attend the call at this moment. I want to speak to you urgently, can I? Said a male voice at the other end of the phone. For a split second, Vidya was disappointed at this last moment's phone call. She knew if she agreed to talk, she would be late to get back home and she would miss her usual bus. The next moment, she immediately remembered her position as a voluntary counselor and encouraged him to talk. Thank you, madam. Anyway, I have made up my mind about what I am going to do. But just before that, I thought of talking to you. At least one person in this world should know why I did it, and that is the reason I called you now, said the male voice at the other end. His decision echoed in his voice. Please go ahead. May I know a little more about you before you proceed so that I may be able to help you? Vidya said in her usual calm voice, conveniently ignoring Ramu's impatient glance while he was standing at the entrance of the room. I don't want your help, screamed the frustrated guy at the other end. I just want to tell you, that's all. Could you spare a few moments to listen to my story? There was an urgency mixed with the frustration in his voice. Of course, you can tell me. I will keep it confidential, don't worry. I am not bothered whether you keep it confidential or not. That is not my problem. I have anyway decided what is to be done, screamed the voice at the top of his voice. He paused for a moment and then added, all that I am bothered about is that somebody in this world should know why I did it, and I thought you would be the right person to talk to. May I know a bit about you, please? Vidya was eager to know at least something about the desperate guy who was in urgent need of pouring out his heart. I am going to kill my wife tonight and then kill myself, and you will read about it tomorrow in tomorrow's newspaper. Then you will know more about me, he continued after a pause. You will be wondering why I am going to do this. After all, you are also a woman. You may not understand my feelings. Is there a male work counselor to whom I could talk to? No, today is my turn. If you want to talk to a male counselor, you can call another day. A male counselor will be available on Monday. Vidya was calm in her voice, not precisely, but pretended to be calm. Actually, there was a sudden turmoil in her mind. Did my heart miss a beat? Will I carry this conversation in my mind to my little home? Wondered Vidya with a shudder. Vidya soon recomposed herself and tried to help the caller. I understand you, young man. I can very well make out how disheartened you are. She empathized with him, and this had the desired soothing effect on him. There was a deep sigh at the other end. I wish I could come and meet you personally and pour out my heart. The velocity of his anger had been reduced suddenly, and this brought a welcome smile on her face. Sure, you can come and meet me in person. But today the time is over. I am already late. I have to lock the office and go now. I am not supposed to stay here after 7. I stay far away. But I can't wait for another day. I have to finish her off today itself. I don't want to postpone this task any longer, echoed the voice at the other end. I understand you, but right now I am helpless, said Vidya and paused for a moment, and then continued as there was no other response from the other end. Could you please wait for one more day so that we can meet here and you can pour out your heart to me? I am willing to listen to you everything in detail. I hope you won't disappoint me. After a pause, she added, oh, I forgot to tell you tomorrow is Sunday and no one will be here. You have to come on Monday only. I will be here. Vidya felt his frustration. Or give me your phone number. I will call you at home and talk to you. The caller had found a solution. Vidya was not willing to give him her residential number. At the same time, she knew it wouldn't be nice to turn him away. I wish I could give you my number, but my phone is dead for the last 1 week. I don't know when the telephone people will come and repair it. Okay, then give me your cell number. He was desperate. I'm sorry, I don't have a cell phone. Vidya preferred to lie at that moment. These days, a cell phone is a must. Do you know it is the cell phone which helped me to nab my wife for her infidelity? The attendant boy was desperately showing signs to her to put an end to the phone call soon. Besides, it was getting late and he was worried that they would both miss their buses as they traveled two different directions. In between, he gestured her to look at her watch. Vidya's mind was aching for the young man who was going to murder his wife and kill himself. I must save these two lives at any cost, she said to herself. All that he needed now was to divert his mind from the turmoil he was going through. This would help him to change his decision, she said to herself, remembering the lesson she had learned from her counseling classes. All of a sudden, an idea flickered in her mind. You didn't tell me your name, young man. Perhaps you don't want me to know. It is all right, but for the time being, can I call you Ajay if you don't mind? It's okay, you can call me Ajay. I like the name. The harshness in his voice had come down considerably, and she thanked her stars for being able to make him cool down a bit. Vidya imagined a tiny smile on the unknown man's face as she uttered those words. By the way, why did you choose that name? Is it the name of anyone dear to you? Once again, Vidya thanked God. She realized she was in the right direction. Ajay is my younger brother's name, so I thought it would be nice to call you by that name. So you consider me as your brother? Asked the young man amusingly. Yes, anything wrong? For the first time she heard him laugh. Was this the same man who spoke to her so angrily a few minutes ago? She wondered. The attendant was losing his patience. Madam, please disconnect the phone. Let us go. I will miss my bus. He screamed, as if he didn't mind if the caller at the other end had heard him. Vidya was sure the young man also must have heard it. Ajay, could you please come on Monday if possible? Otherwise, call me. I will be here on this same number by 2:30. As there was no response from the other end, she continued, I want to buy a cell phone for myself and want to get your advice on this. You seem to be a knowledgeable person about it. Bye for now. She controlled her mixed up thoughts, hoping he would not dare to do anything wrong. Bye, madam. I may not be able to come, but I will definitely call you on Monday, said Ajay in a friendly tone. Vidya had a sigh of relief and appreciated his response. On the way back home and later reaching at home, Vidya's mind was filled with the last caller and his problem. Will he wait until Monday as suggested by her, or will his anger gain control over his mind? The next day was Sunday. Before the paperman brought the newspaper, she found herself waiting for him at the door. As soon as the paper was in her hand, she glanced at each page as though she was waiting for the examination result. With a tensed mind, she scanned through each page and each column, especially the crime news page. The following day, her bus was delayed by almost 15 minutes, and she walked swiftly from the bus stop to the counseling center, worrying about Ajay's phone call. Vidya volunteered her services from 2:30 to 6 p.m. at this center. As she stepped inside, she saw a young couple waiting for her in the visitors' room. Ignoring them, she walked towards her seat. Hardly 2 minutes had passed. The tall man who was sitting in the visitors' room was before her with a smile. Good afternoon, madam. She lifted her head up and saw the man smiling at her as though he knew her very well. I am Ajay. I had spoken to you last Saturday. Do you remember my call? He introduced himself. She reciprocated with a smile and offered him the seat, wondering whether this was the same person with whom she had spoken the day before. She couldn't find any frustration or stress on his face now. I was disappointed not seeing you today, the office boy said. You always came on time and sometime even before time. Since he didn't see you, he was telling me you may not come in today. Thank God you have come. So, how are you today? All set to kill your wife? Asked Vidya jovially and looking at him. I'm sorry, madam. That is why I came over here to see you personally. And thank you for everything. Bending his head down, he sat before her, embarrassed. Thanking me? What for? I haven't done anything. If you don't mind, can I call my wife here? She's sitting outside. Oh, sure. As she was speculating, he disappeared from the room and then immediately returned with a beautiful woman clad in parrot green churidar. On Saturday, after speaking to you, he said, I felt very relieved and decided to wait for a day. By then, my momentary anger had subsided and I could see my wife in a new light. Then I realized that it was all due to a misunderstanding. We have sorted out our problems amicably, and you saved our marriage of 5 years. Few moments of your time saved our lives too. They folded their hands in unison. Vidya found no words to express her happiness and just gave a broad smile as she recollected each word of the conversation they had. Do you still consider me like your own younger brother? Asked Ajay. Yes, sure. All the best to both of you. Be happy always. If what you said is true, please accept it. I have got a cell phone for you. He held out a packet. No, I don't need it. Thank you, Ajay. When I am ready to buy a cell phone, I will contact you. Vidya had a secret smile on her face. He reluctantly pulled back his hand and his wife handed her a visiting card. Our number is here. Please don't hesitate to contact us whenever you feel the need to do so.